tenemos nosotros también.
The fate of a helicopter pilot accused of leading an armed rebellion in Venezuela is unclear following a raid on a house outside Caracas. The authorities say they've killed several men and arrested 5 more members of a cell linked to rogue police officer Oscar Perez, who spoke on social media during the assault. In the footage, Perez says they're shooting at us with rocket-propelled grenades. There are civilians inside here. We said we'd turn ourselves in, but they don't want to let us turn ourselves in. They want to kill us. President Nicolas Maduro has described Perez and his followers as fanatics and extremist terrorists. They're already giving their statements and telling all the terrorist plans they had are horrifying. Oscar Perez rose to notoriety last year when, amid anti-government protests that left more than 100 people dead, he launched several grenades from a stolen police helicopter aimed at 2 government buildings. No one was injured, but Perez, who's been in action films and portrays himself as a Rambo figure, has been on the run ever since. Pope Francis has arrived in Chile and been given a warm welcome from President Michelle Bachelet and tens of thousands of well-wishers. Despite the festive atmosphere, Francis comes at a time when support for the Catholic Church in Chile is at an all-time low. A sexual abuse scandal and alleged cover-up combined with a growing secularization in Chile are issues which Francis may address during his visit. He's also likely to face protests from indigenous Mapuche who accuse the state and private companies of taking their ancestral lands. Francis is due to visit their region on Wednesday. That aside, scores of Catholic faithful were obviously delighted to greet the Pope on his first walkabout. A planned mass on Tuesday in Santiago is expected to attract more than 500,000 people.
Several people have been injured after a blast brought down a residential building in the Belgian city of Antwerp. Police say they do not believe the incident was terror-related, with state broadcaster RTBF reporting the collapse was most likely caused by a gas explosion. Belgium has been on high alert since deadly suicide bombings in Brussels in 2016. Though 3 people, including a child, had to be pulled from the rubble, those injured in Monday night's blast are not believed to have sustained serious injuries.
Panic moments after a walkway collapsed at the Indonesia Stock Exchange, injuring more than 70 people. Many of those wounded are said to be students who'd been visiting the complex. Police have ruled out the possibility of a bombing, and the local governor has promised an immediate audit of the building. It had been the target of a car bombing by Islamist militants in September 2000. The exchange's president director said the afternoon's trading was not affected by the mezzanine's collapse.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is accusing the US of undermining the nuclear deal between Iran and other world powers. It comes after President Trump said he'd lift imposed sanctions against Iran that are aiming to curb their nuclear missile program. As a first step, we propose that everyone calm down and freeze any confrontational activity. First of all, military undertakings, be they missile launches, nuclear tests, or large military maneuvers. In recent days, Trump has said he wants flaws in the 2015 nuclear deal fixed within 120 days. What the US are trying to do now is basically change the wording of an agreement, including things which will be absolutely unacceptable for Iran, and we will not support them. And if the US really slam the door, then I don't even want to think about the consequences, because surely in that situation Iran won't consider itself bound.
A couple have been charged with torture after police rescued 13 people from a home in California where it's believed some were shackled to beds. The discovery was made after a 17-year-old girl escaped the house near Los Angeles. Along with torture, parents David and Louise Turpin are accused of child endangerment. Police say the siblings, aged from 2 to 29, were padlocked inside a dark and foul-smelling room. Neighbours have expressed their horror.
This family hold their children captive in their house and chain some of their kids to the beds and things. So it's just been really shocking.
Other neighbours have described the family as shut-ins, saying the Turpins and their children rarely emerged from the home in the city of Paris.
These images posted on social media show bright orange magma building up at the summit of a Philippine volcano. Mount Mayon has been emitting ash, mud and rocks over the weekend. A leading volcano expert in the country's warned an eruption could take place within weeks or even days. More than 9,000 people have evacuated nearby villages, with local authorities raising the alert to level 3 Sunday night. This warns an eruption is likely. The volcano is a popular tourist attraction in the central Albay province. Several flights have been cancelled from the nearby capital city Manila as a result of the volcanic activity.
Televidente, vamos a un corte comercial. Después nos noticia internacional. Ahora nos regresa for the break. El deporte con nuestro colega Carl Reuter.